Emotional discipline isn't a personality trait. It's a skill. And like any skill, you build it through practice. Small wins compound. Awareness builds. Patterns weaken. Over time, you develop the resilience that separates professionals from the 90% who quit. Not because you became emotionless, because you learned to execute your plan regardless of how you feel. Most traders think discipline is about willpower, being strong enough to never break rules. When they break a rule, they think they failed. They judge themselves. That's the wrong framework. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you recognize a pattern and don't act on it, you're building the skill. Even at 50%, that's still progress. Professionals measure psychological progress like trading performance. They track it. How many times did I follow my plan? How many times did I break it? Where and why? They're not judging. They're finding patterns. Last month broke rules 60% of trades. This month, 40%. That's improvement. Not perfect, but better. And better compounds. The practice. Weekly psychology review. Every Sunday, review the week. Not just trades. Your psychology. 5 questions. Where did I follow my plan? Where did I break it? What triggered me? What did I learn? What's one thing I'll focus on next week? This is data collection. Finding patterns in your behavior. And patterns can be changed. Small wins matter. Losing trade, didn't revenge trade. Win. Felt FOMO, didn't chase. Win. Hit daily loss limit and stopped. Win. These aren't trade wins, they're psychology wins. And psychology wins build the foundation for trading wins. If you can't control behavior, strategy doesn't matter. You won't execute consistently enough for edge to show up. Track these wins. Keep a list. Every time you recognized a trigger and didn't act. Every time you followed your circuit breaker. Every time you ran your routine when you didn't feel like it. Over time, this list becomes evidence. You're capable. You're improving. When you have a bad week and doubt yourself, look at the list. You've done it before. You can do it again. Setbacks aren't failures. They're data. You broke your rule, revenge traded, chased. Okay. Now ask why. What was the trigger? Your emotional state. What will you do differently? That's the learning. Not beating yourself up. Learning. You're gathering information about how your psychology works under pressure. That information lets you build better systems. Separate identity from behavior. You're not an undisciplined person because you broke a rule. You're a trader building discipline who sometimes makes mistakes. That distinction matters. Think you're undisciplined? You give up? Think you're building discipline? You keep going. One is fixed, the other is growth. And growth is what works in trading. Professionals understand discipline development isn't linear. Good weeks, bad weeks. Weeks you execute perfectly. Weeks you break every rule. Normal. What matters is the trend over months. Breaking rules less often than 3 months ago. Catching triggers earlier. Stopping yourself before damage more consistently. That's the trend that matters, not daily perfection. Long-term improvement. Track psychological progress. Pick 3 metrics: execution quality, trigger awareness, emotional regulation. Score yourself weekly, 1 to 10. At month end, you have 12 data points. You can see the trend. Improving? Keep going. Not improving? Adjust. Maybe you need a different circuit breaker. Maybe your routine needs work. But you have data. You're not guessing. Over time, the discipline you're building in trading transfers. You recognize patterns in other areas. Notice when you're reactive. Create space before responding. Build systems that help when willpower fails. Trading becomes training ground for psychological development. And that development changes how you operate in everything. Emotional discipline is a skill. You build it through practice. You track it through data. You improve it through awareness. And you trust the process. Not the outcome, the process. Small wins, weekly reviews, tracking progress, learning from setbacks. Over time, those compound, and you become the trader who can execute under pressure. Not because you stopped feeling emotion, because you learned what to do with it.